Have you ever woken up one morning, looked in the mirror and wondered, when did I become invisible? It's not a dramatic feeling. It's quiet, subtle, like walking into a room and no one noticing, like sharing a thought and being politely ignored. If you've ever felt this way after 60, you're not alone, and you're definitely not imagining it. Turning 60 is supposed to be this golden chapter, isn't it? You've earned your peace, your rest, your time. But somewhere along the way, the world starts treating you a little differently. Not always unkindly, but more like gently pushing you to the sidelines. And no one really warns you about that part. Today, I want to talk with you. Not lecture, not list out facts, but really talk about some of the shocking truths that so many of us face after 60, yet no one really talks about. These aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to awaken you, to help you realize you're not alone in these feelings. And most importantly, to remind you that it's never too late to stand strong and live fully. Let's begin with something that might feel very familiar already: the quiet disappearance of your identity. For decades, you were something, someone, a teacher, a mother, a businessman, a caregiver. You had a routine, a purpose. You were needed. But after 60, especially post-retirement or after children move away, it's like the world stops calling your name. You're no longer introduced by your profession or daily role. Suddenly, people refer to you as someone's grandparent or simply retired. Now, there's nothing wrong with being proud of your grandchildren or your peaceful retirement, but what nobody tells you is how strange it feels to lose your title, your identity. You may find yourself wondering, who am I now, really? That question alone can quietly eat away at your confidence. And here's what's important: your identity is not gone, it's just evolving. This is your chance to redefine it. You can be a mentor, a creator, a traveler, a writer, a learner. You're not done growing, no matter what society whispers. But you do have to fight for it, not with aggression, but with intention, by choosing every day to live with curiosity and purpose. That, my friend, is how you keep your identity alive. Another truth: friendships, real, deep friendships, start to fade. It's not always anyone's fault. People move away. Health issues come up. Some dear friends pass on. Others simply drift into their own rhythms. And suddenly the phone doesn't ring as much. The invitations slow down. You start to miss the casual chats, the coffee meetups, the shared laughter of those who just get you. Loneliness, especially after 60, is a quiet epidemic. You can be surrounded by family, yet still feel deeply alone. And here's the tough part: it's hard to make new friends at this age. The opportunities don't present themselves as easily. We're less likely to join new groups or strike up conversations with strangers. There's this quiet belief that friendship is something that happens naturally when we're young, but must fade with age. But that's just not true. It's never too late to connect. You'd be surprised how many people out there feel exactly like you do, craving connection but not knowing where to start. Take that pottery class, join that walking group, attend that local book club. Will it be awkward at first? Sure, but awkward is a small price to pay for companionship, laughter, and a shared smile. Now let's talk about something even harder to admit. After 60, people start treating you as if you're fragile, even if you don't feel fragile at all. Ever noticed how shopkeepers talk a little slower? How younger family members insist on carrying things for you, even when you didn't ask? Or worse, how your opinions are sometimes brushed aside with a polite nod. There's a subtle shift in how people perceive you. They think they're being helpful, and sometimes they are. But other times it chips away at your sense of independence. You may start to second guess yourself. Maybe I shouldn't be driving at night. Maybe I shouldn't go on that trip alone. You begin to internalize the world's doubt, but you know your body. You know your limits. And more than that, you know your spirit. Age does not equal weakness. Wisdom doesn't mean you've lost strength. Sure, maybe your knees ache a little more and your naps last a little longer, but your fire is still there. Don't let people's lowered expectations become your reality. Respect your limits, yes, but don't let anyone else define them for you. And then there's the most surprising thing that creeps in after 60, the fear of becoming a burden. It's not something you say out loud, even to your children or your spouse, but it's there, that voice that wonders, what if I get sick and need help? What if my children feel I'm too much to handle? What if I become a problem instead of a person? This fear often leads to silence. You stop sharing your needs. You don't speak up when you're hurting. You downplay your loneliness, your sadness, even your pain, because you don't want to be a bother. But keeping things inside only makes them heavier. And worse, it creates a distance between you and the people who love you. You might think you're protecting them, but what you're really doing is protecting your fear. Please remember this. Love doesn't keep score. If you've spent your life caring for others, allow them the chance to care for you now. Let yourself be vulnerable. Ask for what you need. Speak your truth gently but clearly. You are not a burden. You are a blessing. And the people who truly love you will never tire of showing you that. So if any of these truths have touched a nerve, made your chest feel heavy, or brought a lump to your throat, know that it's okay. These feelings are valid. You are not overreacting, and you are certainly not alone. There's another truth that sneaks up slowly, almost without warning. It's the feeling that time is slipping through your fingers faster than ever before. You look back and wonder how the years passed by so quickly. Wasn't it just yesterday that you were running after the kids, juggling work, planning holidays, dancing at weddings? Now sometimes entire weeks go by in a blur where every day feels the same, quiet, predictable, maybe even a little too still. And then the thoughts begin to whisper, is it too late now? Did I miss my chance? Have I already lived the best parts of my life? These questions, if left unanswered, can make the days feel heavier than they really are. But let me say this as clearly as I can. You are not out of time. Yes, the days ahead might be fewer than the days behind, but they can still be full, full of joy, full of peace, full of little adventures. The real question isn't, how much time do I have left? But how can I make this time count? You don't need to climb mountains or write a book, though if you want to, please do. Sometimes making time count means calling an old friend, learning a new recipe, watching the sunrise, or simply laughing so hard your stomach hurts. Every moment you're alive, you're still becoming, still discovering parts of yourself that have been waiting quietly for you all these years. There is always more to uncover, but there's something else, something so deep that most people don't even have words for it. After 60, you begin to confront your own emotional baggage more directly. Regrets you used to ignore start bubbling up. Relationships you never healed. Conversations you never had. Choices you wish you could go back and change. They all start to echo louder. You might remember harsh words you said in your 30s, a sibling you stopped talking to, a dream you never pursued because life got in the way. And sometimes it all feels too late to make peace with it. But the truth is, healing doesn't have a deadline. You're not too old to forgive or to ask for forgiveness. You're not too late to reach out and say, I'm sorry, or I still love you, or I forgive you. And if those people are no longer around, speak it aloud anyway. Speak it into a letter, into a prayer, into the wind. Healing doesn't need a reply to begin. It just needs your heart to open. Carrying guilt and regret at this stage in life is like dragging heavy luggage on a peaceful walk. Let it go. You don't need to carry the weight anymore. You deserve peace. Real, deep peace that sits gently on your shoulders instead of pressing down on them. Another truth that almost no one talks about is how the body changes don't just affect how you feel physically, but how you feel about yourself. Your reflection changes, your walk slows, your hair thins, and sometimes when you look in the mirror, you don't recognize the person staring back. And it can hurt. It's not vanity, it's humanity. We all want to feel attractive. We all want to feel strong and capable. And when the mirror shows us something different, it can shake our confidence more than we like to admit. But here's the thing. Your worth has never been tied to your wrinkles, your weight, or your waistline. You are still radiant, still worthy, still needed. Every line on your face holds a story. Every scar is proof that you lived, that you healed. There is a quiet beauty in age that no youth can ever imitate. So dress up if you want to. Wear that lipstick, rock that bright shirt, smile big and walk proud. Not to impress anyone else, but to remind yourself that you're still very much alive and your beauty hasn't gone anywhere. It's just changed form. What's also shocking, but true, is how much society underestimates your intelligence after 60. You might have noticed it already. People explain things slowly, even when you didn't ask. They assume you're not tech savvy, not aware, not adaptable. They act surprised when you use a smartphone, join a new class, or speak about current events. It's as if wisdom suddenly becomes invisible when wrinkles appear. But here's what they don't understand. You've lived through more changes than they can imagine. You adapted from letters to emails, from radios to reels, from paper maps to GPS. You've witnessed revolutions in technology, culture, politics, and family life, and you're still learning, still keeping up. Just because you were born before the internet doesn't mean you don't understand life better than someone who lives on it. Don't let anyone reduce you to their idea of old. You're experienced, insightful, and full of knowledge the world desperately needs right now. And if you have struggled with change, that's okay too. Ask for help. Stay curious. Keep learning. You don't have to master everything, but you do have the right to explore anything that excites your mind. At this age, learning becomes less about achievement and more about joy. That's the best kind of learning. Read that book. Take that online course. Play that instrument. Surprise everyone, including yourself. And as we sit here talking heart to heart, I want you to know something else. You're not too late to feel fulfilled. You're not too late to feel seen, heard, and loved deeply. Whether you're 60, 70, or 90, your story isn't over. This part, the part you're in right now, can be the most meaningful chapter yet. All it needs is your permission. And now we come to a truth that's perhaps the most tender of them all. After 60, many people begin to feel something they never expected, a sense of being left behind. The world moves quickly. Technology changes overnight. Trends shift. Language evolves. And somewhere in that blur, it can feel like the world no longer speaks your language or even pauses to hear your voice. You might feel disconnected from your grandchildren's world. Maybe your kids are always busy. Maybe the news feels overwhelming, or everything starts with an app you don't want to download. And you think, maybe I just don't belong in this version of the world anymore. But let me tell you something from the heart. You do belong. The world may move fast, but wisdom moves deeper. And while you might not post daily selfies or binge every new series, you bring something this world is desperately missing: perspective. You remember life before constant screens, before everything was instant. You understand patience, gratitude, quiet strength. You carry the kind of wisdom no algorithm can generate. So don't shrink back. Speak up, share your stories, teach, listen, be present. Your presence alone is a gift in a noisy world. And as we reach the end of this conversation, I want you to breathe in something important. There is still so much life left in you, so much love, laughter, growth, and connection. Yes, aging brings surprises. Some are hard, some are healing. But what remains unchanged is your value, your light, your capacity to live fully, on your terms. No matter how invisible you felt, how distant the world may seem, or how uncertain your next step looks, you are still here, still needed, still powerful. So live loudly, rest deeply, laugh freely, forgive quickly, and love without holding back. If this video touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments. You're not alone, and your voice matters. Tap the like button if you felt seen today, and subscribe for more honest, uplifting talks like this. Here's to living boldly, loving deeply, and aging with pride. You've earned every moment.